Hey, what's up? I'm Dominique and welcome to my ultimate guide to all things warm tones. We're gonna go on a little warm tone deep dive so we can really learn what a warm tone is and how to pair them together when you're doing your makeup. So if you want the most snatched, bronzy, and sun-kissed glam, you've come to the right place because today I'm going to be sharing with you all my warm tone secrets. I already know you're gonna love this warm tone glam because these are truly all my favorite warm tone products and you're just gonna eat them up. You're gonna love them so much. So without any further ado, let's jump right in and let's get started. To start off this look, I'm doing my eyeshadow first because I always do my eyeshadow first because I hate when eyeshadow fallout gets onto my foundation, so doing my eyeshadow first just helps to avoid all that. And of course, since we're creating a super warm tone look today, I have to use one of my favorite warm toned eyeshadow palettes of all time, and that would be from Miss Huda Beauty, the Empowered Eyeshadow Palette. I mean, just by looking at this palette, you can see that these shades are just so perfectly warm toned, and if you know anything about Huda Beauty eyeshadow formulas, you know that they are incredible, outstanding, and gorgeous. And so far, this palette is just slaying this look, quite honestly. And if you want to know what shades I've used so far, I've used these three right here. But if we're being real here, the best part of this eye look is definitely going to be the shimmer shade. And which one should I use? Which is really going to embody and complete this warm toned look? I mean, all the shades in this palette are super warm toned, and that's what makes this palette so great. So really, I could choose any shimmer to go on the lid. Ooh, the decisions. I don't know what to do. Okay, I think I decided we're going to do a little mixy mix of bold moves and manifest it. And I need you to just watch how beautifully this goes on the eyelid. I'm just taking a little flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm just gonna pat it directly on the lid. Ooh, do you see that? It's kind of giving a more champagne gold, and I am loving this because it's not too gold, but it's still gold enough to be warm toned. And the way that this shimmer is just shining on my lid is actually insane. I wish that you could just come over to my house and you could see how beautiful this is in person. And then of course, if you came over to my house, you know I would be doing your makeup immediately. It's funny because if any of my friends ever want me to do their makeup, I will jump at the opportunity. I will never turn down doing someone's makeup. So trust, if you came over, I'm doing your makeup. We would just have the best little makeover day together and it would be so fun. Okay, so now the eyeshadow is almost all complete. I'm just gonna finish it up and then we'll get started on the base. First, I went ahead and I did my foundation, my concealer, and my eyeshadow off camera because I always start with my eyeshadow first, and quite honestly, foundation and concealer doesn't have anything to do with warm tones, unless that's your undertone, that is. But before we get started on this base, we should really talk about what a warm tone is. And I'm going to swatch some of these eyeshadow shades to show you. Okay, so I swatched two shades that I'm wearing on my eyes today, which is Keep Going and Get It. And shades just like this are truly the definition of warm tones. So if we're talking about warm tones, we're talking about colors like red, yellow, orange. Colors that are typically associated with the feelings of comfort, happiness, and energy. Plus, warm colors can really make spaces feel more cozy. So you know that term hospital lights, like when you go into a hospital or you go into an office and the lights are just so bright and they're blinding? Those are cool toned lights because they make you feel like on edge and very alert and awake because they're very bright in your face. But if you think about warm toned lights, they're much more dim, they're not as bright, they're a little bit more cozy, and they give you more of that orangey, like amber vibe in the room. And quite honestly, I am a huge sucker for warm toned lights. In my apartment at nighttime, I keep on one lamp and I specifically put a warm toned light bulb in there, so it gives that really warm, very cozy, kind of like a cottage feel in my apartment. So some examples of warm tones would be reds, oranges, yellows, terracottas, browns, chocolates, ambers, and warm tones are very popular in nature as well. So you know when you go to the beach and you get a tan, the tan that's on your skin is automatically warm, no matter what your skin tone is. Sometimes people's tan can be a lot warmer than others, but that bronziness that sun gives you is always warm toned. Now for me personally, I feel like my skin's undertones lean more into the neutral warm toned family. When I wear warm tones, it really just complements my skin tone, and it makes all my features pop, it makes me look radiant, and it makes me look very lifelike. For an example, you know Ariana Grande right now with her blonde hair, you know how it kind of washes her out? And I don't mean that in a bad way because Ariana is my girl, I love her so much, but we can all agree that she kind of does look a little bit better with that brown hair because it just complements her features because she is warm toned, not cool toned. And you know how recently her blonde hair has been more of that honey blonde, something a little bit warmer toned, and she started to look good with that blonde hair? That's because they've been putting warm tones in her hair to complement her features. So playing up to the undertones that complement your skin tone is the best thing that you could do. Now how to figure out your undertone is by looking at your veins. I know that's crazy, but your veins will tell you everything. If you look at your veins on your skin and they appear more green, that means you're more warm toned. But if they look really blue and purpley under your skin, that means you're more cool toned. So after I apply my foundation and concealer to my skin, it's time to go in with some cream bronzer. And if you're creating a warm toned makeup look, you should always be looking to use a bronzer over a contour. Bronzers, no matter what type of bronzer you're using, they are always warm toned based. That's essentially what makes up a bronzer. So today I'm going to be using the Saie Liquid Dew Bronze in the shade Swim. And I have to say that this shade right here is the perfect warm tone bronzer shade. So I'm just going to place this cream bronzer in the hollows of my cheekbones, along the perimeter of my forehead, along my jawline, and a little on the sides of my nose as well. When you use a bronzer to warm up your skin, you're really going to get that beachy, sun-kissed look. And for me personally, I always want to have a beachy, sun-kissed glow going to my skin. I don't know about you, but I love to look like I was at the beach and I got a little bit of some sun. Then I'm just going to take my little brush and I'm just going to blend out the bronzer. I'm just going to use some patting motions to help blend it out. You never really want to scrape and drag your cream bronzer around because that could disturb the foundation underneath. So you just want to pat, pat, pat to help blend it all out. And also bringing it up towards your temples will help lift your face. You can definitely see how it kind of has that orangey, warm undertone to it. And when I say orangey and warm, I don't mean it in a bad way. I know orange and makeup has a really bad connection to it, and you know when you wear makeup you really don't want to look orange, but if you look at the shade you can see that it's brown mixed with a little bit of orange. So essentially that's a warm toned bronzer, and I just really love that bronzers recreate that sun-like effect. I mean, I'm a summer girl. I love me some summertime, and bronzing my skin really helps me give that summertime effect in the middle of winter, like right now. The formula of this bronzer is so incredibly creamy. I mean, it blends out in 5 seconds. It's actually incredible. I mean, do you see this? You don't even have to try that hard to get it to blend out and look good. And it also gives my skin a really nice glow from within, and quite honestly, I'm a dry skin queen, so I love when anything that I apply to my skin has a good glow to it. Now, do you see how the bronzer just added this effect of that warm, cozy, comforting vibe to my face? And I know neutral and cool tones are super trendy in the makeup world right now, but I don't care because you will never ever make me hate warm tones. Especially when I feel like warm tones complement my skin better, I will always be wearing a good warm tone moment. And personally, in my opinion, I feel like warm tones are great to wear during the day, and then cool tones are better to wear at night because you know warm tones really give that sun-like effect, and you can only get that during the day. So when I'm outside in the sun, you can bet that I want to be looking as bronzy as possible. Cool tones create a whole different type of look, and I already created the ultimate guide for cool tones, so I'll have it linked right here if you want to go ahead and check that out. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing, I forgot to blend out the bronzer on my chin. Can't forget that. Now I am bronzed to the gods, and we love to see it. Now I'm gonna move on to some liquid blush, and one of my favorite warm toned liquid blush is from Rare Beauty in the shade Worth. I swatched it on the back of my hand, and as you can see, it kind of has more of that peachy, kind of warm pink look. So I'm just gonna apply a little of this to my cheeks, and this is a very pigmented blush, so you really only need 1 dot of this, and it's gonna cover your entire cheek. And then with my little brush, I'm just gonna blend it out. And to blend it out, I'm also going to be using these patting motions, and I'm gonna lift it up towards my temple to help lift my face. And I do have to say that this blush blends out so easily. Oh my goodness, there is a plane or something flying over my apartment, and it is very loud. Very loud. Don't you know I'm trying to film here, people? You see, once it's all blended out, it kind of does have that pinky warm tone vibe going on. And that's exactly what I'm going for today. One of my favorite warm tone blush shades is definitely a good peach shade. You know, it's giving very flush, like I just pinched my cheeks. And not only is this shade incredible, the formula of this blush is also outstanding and just gorgeous. You see how it gives my cheeks a very skin-like glow? I love that so much. Along with the Saie Dew Bronze, yes, my skin is skinning right now. And not only is it skinning, it's looking super warm toned. And really, there's just something about warm toned makeup that makes me feel so good about myself. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good cool toned makeup look, but when I wear warm toned makeup, I just feel my best. And it took me about a year of wearing cool toned makeup consistently to figure out that I love warm toned makeup the best. Sometimes I look back at my warm toned looks and I'm like, dang, it really made my features pop. And at first I know that this orange eyeshadow was looking crazy, but when you pair it with some bronzer and this blush, it kind of just like all melts together. And when you look at that, that's the power of makeup. When you pair similar undertones together, it really just completes the look and it looks so good. Real quick, I'm just setting my face with some setting powder, and setting powder has absolutely nothing to do with undertones at all. So let's just keep it moving. Now the next step in my routine is definitely some powder bronzer, because you know we have to enhance that cream bronzer that we have on underneath. So today I'm going to be using the Makeup by Mario SoftSculpt powder bronzer in the shade Light Medium. Now again, all bronzers are based in the warm tone family. So bronzers by nature have warm tones in them. So if you're looking for that sun-kissed look, definitely go for a bronzer over a contour. Now to apply this, I'm just going to place it directly on top of the areas where we place that cream bronzer. So starting off in the hollows of my cheekbones, and you see as it starts to blend out, it definitely gives more of that warm tone back to my skin. Do you see how it has those orange tones ever so subtly? It's still very natural, and it definitely gives sun-kissed over straight up orange, but when you squint your eyes and you really look into it, you can see that it's so much more warm than it is cool toned. For me personally, I love this Makeup by Mario powder bronzer because it still is warm toned, but it's not overly warm warm to the point where it just looks like straight up orange. Warm tones just really complement each other so nicely. And it's just so great to see when you use similar undertones next to each other and how they just complement each other. It's just so beautiful. Now, my makeup advice would be if you're going to be wearing a warm tone outfit, definitely go for a warm toned makeup look. But if you're going to be wearing a cool toned outfit that day, definitely go for a cool toned makeup look. For example, today I'm wearing this brown shirt that's definitely more of a chocolatey brown, so it's more warm toned. I've got my gold jewelry on, which is definitely warm toned. And then this little jacket is kind of taupe, so it's more neutral, so it can go cool toned or it could be warm. But you can see that the colors of my outfit complements the colors of my bronzer and my blush as well. But from the eyeshadow, the bronzer, the blush, the outfit, the jewelry, everything is warm toned. And that really just creates a super cohesive look. And I told you I was going to be sharing with you my favorite warm tone products, and as you can see, these products slay. I mean, this look is already off to such a good start. This glam is just coming together so beautifully. Now it's time to add some powder blush. And just like everything else in this video, this is seriously one of my favorite warm tone powder blushes of all time. I mean, duh, is it getting a little repetitive? Probably, but it's the truth. Everything in this video is my favorite. And I even have more favorite warm tone products that I couldn't include in this video. And that's quite tragic because I wish I could just share them all with you. So maybe if you like this, I'll make a part 2. Maybe I'll do that. Just let me know if you'd like to see that. Anyway, back to regularly scheduled activities, okay? So today I'm going to be using the MAC Cosmetics powder blush in the shade Peaches. First of all, this blush is seriously a classic. It truly is the most beautiful warm toned peachy blush. I mean, just wait till you see what it looks like on the cheeks. So I'm gonna take my little blush brush and I'm just gonna stamp a little out onto my cheeks directly on top of where we place the cream blush. It's basically the exact same shade as a Rare Beauty blush, so we love that. I seriously love this blush because it really helps to brighten up the cheeks. It brightens it up in a very sun-kissed way. So for me, this is a perfect blush to wear during the day or even at night because you could really do a million things with this. It's a perfect natural blush, but still you can make it super glam if that's what you're looking for. And I have to fully admit, this is one of my go-to blush shades when I'm wearing a warm toned look. I mean, seriously, I keep this on hand at my desk at all times. I just love that it can really work for any occasion. It gives me a little bit of that flushed cheek effect, and I just love these warm tone vibes. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. Because they're not overly pigmented where you're gonna look like a clown right away. They're kind of sheer, but very buildable as well. Because as you can see here, I built it up a lot. But hey, that's how I like my makeup, okay? I like to look full beat and full glam. And is my makeup giving like I was at the beach? Hopefully it is, even though I would never really wear this much makeup to the beach. Or would I? Or would I? Because I know that I could slay a good waterproof base. I know that I have it in me. But for now, I'll just do makeup to make me look like I was at the beach, even though I wasn't. And it's gonna give me so much life, especially during the winter. I mean, this makeup is just very reminiscent of summer, and that's very on brand for me because me and summer are besties. I love me some summertime. Like I've said 10 times throughout this video, there's just something about those warm tones that I'm just like, yes. Now we gotta add a little bit of glow to my skin because what would my makeup be without a good highlighter? So for highlighter today, I'm going to be using the House Labs highlighter in the shade Sunstone. And quite honestly, you can't tell me nothing about this highlighter because it is too good. This is a gorgeous champagne gold highlighter. Now this is one of my favorite highlighters to wear, especially for a natural look. Because yes, this highlighter is blinding, but it's not overly blinding to where you look like a Tin Man right away. If you want to look like a Tin Man or a glazed donut, you'd have to layer up the highlighter a few times, which is not a problem in my opinion because that's exactly what I'm doing right now because I personally like to look like a Tin Man, but I know there's people out there who like more of a subtle highlight look. So if that's what you're going for, this would be perfect. And not only is it a blinding beautiful highlighter, it gives the skin the most beautiful glow from within. I'm telling you, it looks so natural and so radiant without looking like a chunky powdery highlighter that would just sit on top of the skin. The way it just melts into the skin after you apply it is just everything. And I'm being serious when I say that. It really melts into the skin. And when I turn my head, you can just see how the light catches it. It's just stunning, okay? It really is gorgeous. And I know I've said it a million times, but hey, it's gorgeous. So what can you expect? I need to let you know because that's my job. I gotta let you know when products are good, right? That's my job and that's why I'm here, for you. And yes, I'm just baking my face a little bit because I'm so extra, but that's how I like my makeup. I like to be super extra, so it is what it is. Now when I wear a warm toned makeup look, I have a signature nude lip that I wear every single time. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. So to start off the lip combo, I'm going to take this Makeup by Mario lip pencil in the shade Travis. So with this, I'm just going to give my lips a nice line. And of course, I'm going to overline slightly just to give my lips a little bit more of a plump effect. Because I mean, who doesn't love plump lips? I really cannot stress enough to you how gorgeous of a lip liner this color is. And not only is the shade absolutely perfect, this lip pencil formula is actually insane. It's so creamy. It glides onto my lips just like butter. It lasts all day long and it does not budge. This is definitely hands down one of my favorite lip pencils in the entire world. And this shade, ooh, this shade, it just matches my shirt perfectly. I'm already already obsessed with this lip combo and I only applied the lip liner. How was that even possible? Now for the actual lipstick, this right here is one of my all-time freaking favorites. Oh my god. I'm going to be using the MAC Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Kinda Sexy. And let me tell you something, this is kinda sexy. And as you can see when I swatched off the back of my hand, it does kind of have that peachy, pinky, orangey vibe going on, which makes for the perfect warm tone nude lip. MAC lipsticks are seriously my favorite lipsticks in the entire world. I mean, there's nothing better than a MAC lipstick. They're so incredibly creamy. I mean, the smell is iconic. And the way that they're so pigmented is just the best part. And I'm being so serious when I tell you I wear this lip color all the time. It's high key one of my favorite ones. I mean, I can just show you right here how much I've used of this. This is all that's left, okay? I just have this little baby nub left. And anytime I need a good warm tone lip combo, you can bet that I'm going to be wearing this. Is this peachy lip matching this look or what? 10 out of 10. And of course, I'm just gonna top off this lip combo with a gloss from Huda Beauty in the shade She Fire. And these faux filler lip glosses from Huda Beauty are seriously incredible. If you haven't tried it out, I highly recommend you do, because they make my lips look so shiny. They give me like that glassy effect. Yet they're not goopy and they're not gloppy and it's not sticky at all. So yeah, I need every shade that this gloss comes in. It also kind of has a medium consistency to it, so it's really nice and very comfortable on the lips. I feel very hydrated and shiny. And might I say that this gloss was named correctly because she is fire. For real, she is fire. It's this gorgeous bronzy shimmer and I'm just here for it. And wow, would you look at that, the lip combo all complete. And that's it. Here's today's final super glam warm toned look using my favorite warm toned products that I have in my collection. If you're looking for some good warm toned makeup, this is exactly the place to start, because I'm telling you, these products have never ever let me down and they know how to slay a good warm toned look. Do I feel like I've been at the beach all day? Yes. Am I looking bronzy and sun-kissed? Yes. And hey, that's exactly how I want my makeup to look every single time. So I'm so here for today's look. I really hope that this video helped you understand what a warm tone is and how a warm tone can help you in your makeup routine. So just remember that warm tones are gonna give you that beautiful bronzy sun-kissed look. And since it's wintertime right now, I am loving me this warm toned look, because now I can reminisce on what it's like to feel like summer again. And before you go, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know, are you team warm tones or team cool tones? I personally have made my executive decision and I am fully team warm tones. And of course, as always, I've linked all the products I mentioned in today's video down in the description box for you, just in case you want to go ahead and check any of them out. I'll be back next week with a brand new video, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss when I upload my next video. And then that way we can really become besties. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me today. I had so much fun sharing with you my little deep dive into all these warm tones. I'm just so grateful for you and all of your support. You really are the best. So shout out to you. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and PS, don't forget to subscribe so that we can truly become besties. I love that for us. Bye!